Thank you for watching our video. In this video, we are going to be talking about communication, its different characteristics, and also how to effectively use and interpret messages. How to be aware of communication. My name is Tara, this is Beverly, and this is Gelatin.
Let's talk about the 5 communication characteristics and what they include. The first characteristic is when communication is inescapable. Whether intentional or unintentional, we are always communicating by sending messages and interpreting messages. The second characteristic is when communication is irreversible. Once a message has been sent, you can't take it back. Third characteristic is when communication is complicated. Factors of ambiguity, perception, knowledge, and uncertainty.
The fourth type of communication characteristic emphasizes content and relationships. Difference between the content of what is said and relation to how it is said. And lastly, communication is governed by rules. Rules are embedded in our culture of discussed verbally rather than a law. Can be implicate, not written or verbalized, but learned along the way. And explicate, written. Now that we have learned about the 5 communication characteristics, let's focus on the 5 principles of communication. Be aware of your communication with yourself and others. Use intrapersonal communication to determine your self-concept, empathy, and self-worth to have a conscious awareness of yourself and others.
You can also effectively use and interpret verbal messages. In order to be an effective communicator, it will mean that you can encode and decode a message effectively and use an appropriate response. To effectively use and interpret nonverbal messages, effective nonverbal communicators will monitor their own messages. This is to avoid unintentionally sending contradictory verbal and nonverbal messages. And they are also able to understand and able to adapt to cultural differences. Our nonverbal cues often tell people how to interpret what we are saying and says a little about ourselves and the culture we live in. To listen and respond thoughtfully to others. An effective listener will work hard to stay on task and to focus on a sender's message. They won't just hear the message but not understand it. They will actually understand it, while also focusing on the needs of others and maintaining personal integrity. There's also appropriately adapting messages to others. You can formulate and respond as best to achieve communication goals. Use the information gathered to shape the response so others can accurately understand your messages. To make choices about all aspects of message content and delivery. Essentially, in this video, we have talked about the 5 communication characteristics and what they include. We've also learned about a few principles of communication and being aware. Then, we have learned how to effectively use and interpret verbal messages as well as nonverbal messages. Thank you for watching this video.